A brief history of all things LGBTQIA in India. What is LGBTQIA? Why are there so many letters? What do they mean? Okay, so L stands for lesbian, G is gay, B is bisexual, T is transgender, Q is queer or questioning, I is intersex, and A is asexual or agender. LGBTQIA is an English umbrella term intended to include all subsections of a very diverse community. Is it the best one? There are many other inclusive acronyms, each more so than the next. So let's just take a look at this one here. Wow. Anyway, so LGBTQIA is broad, inclusive, and works best as an umbrella term. Though the irony is, it's been raining on our parade quite a bit over the last few years. India is a South Asian country with a long and complicated history, and lots of different people came here from all over the world and stayed. The last ones here were the British, and they stuck around for over 200 years and left only in 1947. The British Empire criminalized sexual activities against the order of nature, arguably including homosexual sexual activities under Section 377 of the Indian Penal Code in 1861, which was 150 years ago. To put that fact into perspective, here are some other things from 1861 that no longer exist. Sati, the telegraph, steam locomotives, the caste system. No, wait, that's still here. Oppression of women. Okay, that too. Child labor. Okay, never mind. Anyway, Section 377, also still here. Basically, Simon, go back, but we'll keep some of your archaic laws, thanks. Many people believe that homosexuality is a Western import. Side note, it's not. Actually, homophobia is the Western import, as evidenced by the introduction of Section 377 in not just India, but several former British colonies. The prohibition of homosexual acts is provided for in Section 377 of the Penal Codes of India, Malaysia, Singapore, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Maldives, and Jamaica. It is the model for similar laws that remain in force in Bhutan, Brunei, Kiribati, Marshall Islands, Nauru, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Tuvalu, Samoa, Malawi, Mauritius, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Somalia, Sudan, Solomon Islands, Sri Lanka, Ghana, the Gambia, Botswana, Kenya, Nigeria, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia. It was the model for since repeal laws in Australia, Fiji, Hong Kong, and New Zealand. So what's been happening in India with LGBT laws and issues since the British left in 1947? In 1977, Shakuntala Devi, mathematician extraordinaire, published the first study of homosexuality in India called The World of Homosexuals. It called for decriminalization of homosexuality and full and complete acceptance, not tolerance or sympathy. The book, however, went mostly unnoticed at that time. In 1981, the first All India Hijra conference was called in Agra. Around 50,000 members of the community from different parts of the country attended it. In 1994, Hijras were legally granted voting rights as a third sex. The first petition challenging Section 377 was filed in 1994 by AIDS Bhedbhav Virodhi Andolan. This petition was eventually dismissed. In 1999, Kolkata was host to the first Pride March to be ever organized in South Asia. In 2001, NAS Foundation filed another public interest litigation to challenge Section 377 in the Delhi High Court. In 2009, the Delhi High Court decision in NAS Foundation versus Government of NCT of Delhi found Section 377 and other legal prohibitions against private, adult, consensual, and non-commercial same-sex conduct to be in direct violation of fundamental rights provided by the Indian Constitution. Effectively, that meant that Section 377 was decriminalized but not legalized. This was a landmark amazing judgment. Well, it didn't last too long. On 11 December 2013, the Supreme Court set aside the 2009 Delhi High Court order decriminalizing consensual homosexual activity. The bench of justices, however, noted that Parliament should debate and decide on the matter. In January 2014, Supreme Court dismissed the review petition filed by central government, NGO NAS Foundation, and several others against its previous verdict on Section 377 of the IPC. In explaining the ruling, the bench said, while reading down Section 377, the High Court noted that a minuscule fraction of the country's population constitutes LGBT people. On that note, here are some other things that count as a minuscule fraction of the country's population. Vegetarians who eat egg, people who received their Aadhaar card in the post, millennials who pay tax, number of people who actually get prosecuted for the crimes they commit. Anyway, the same year, in February 2014, the Indian Psychiatric Society released a statement saying that homosexuality is not a disease and that it did not recognize it as one. In April 2014, a National Legal Services Authority versus Union of India, the Supreme Court of India ruled that transgender people should be treated as the third category of gender. In December 2015, a bill for the decriminalization of Section 377 was introduced in Parliament but was rejected by a majority vote. By the way, at this point, the UK had already passed a legislation to allow same-sex marriage. Let's get this straight, or not, the country that actually gave us Section 377 has now made same-sex marriage legal. Homosexuality itself has been decriminalized in the UK since 1967. Let that sink in for a while. In February 2016, the Supreme Court decided to review criminalization of homosexual activity. In November 2016, Nama Pride was the first Pride in India to be made accessible for persons with disability. About 35 people with disability participated in the march and other events. On August 24, 2017, India's Supreme Court has given the country's LGBT community the freedom to safely express their sexual orientation. An individual's sexual orientation is protected under the country's right to privacy law. However, the Supreme Court did not directly overturn any laws criminalizing same-sex relationships. So at this point, the legislation stands in a convoluted paradox. LGBTQIA people are allowed to express their sexual orientation, but homosexual acts would still remain criminalized by the IPC. I guess we're legally supposed to be out, proud, and celibate? That's what the laws imply? India's march forward in LGBTQI rights has been slow. And speaking of march, what is Pride? Not to be confused with proud, proudy, or that which comes before a fall. Pride is the positive stance against discrimination and violence towards LGBTQI people to promote their self-affirmation, dignity, equality rights, increase their visibility as a social group, build community, and celebrate diversity. Pride, as opposed to shame and social stigma, is the predominant outlook that most LGBT rights movements carry throughout the world. Does it happen in India? Is it real? Is it fun? The answer is yes, yes, and hell yes. Here's a list of all the places in India that have had or still have Pride marches. Kolkata, Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Bhubaneswar, Ahmedabad, Pune, Thrissur, Madurai, Bhawanipatna, Hyderabad, Surat, Guwahati, Cochin, Baroda, Thiruvananthapuram, Kozhikode, Nagpur, Bhopal, Lucknow, Bangalore, Chandigarh. So what's happening now? Well, to summarize, same-sex sexual activity legal, court decision pending. Equal age of consent, court decision pending. Anti-discrimination laws in employment, court case may be formed to repeal this law. Anti-discrimination laws in the provision of goods and services, court case may be formed to repeal this law. Anti-discrimination laws in all other areas including indirect discrimination and hate speech, court case may be formed to repeal this law. Same-sex marriages, nope. Recognition of same-sex couples, nope. Stepchild adoption by same-sex couples, nope. Joint adoption by same-sex couples, nope. Adoption by transgender people, only in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Gays and lesbians allowed to serve openly in the military, nope. Right to change legal gender, only in Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Homosexuality declassified as an illness since 2014. Access to IVF for lesbians, nope. Commercial surrogacy for gay male couples, nope. What happens now? Well, moving forward, if you can't cure your LGBTQI condition using any of these Indian culture-approved methods, yoga, prayer, arranged heteromarriage, dead. What you can do is inform, educate yourself and others, and participate in the march towards equal rights. Join the Pride March, talk and engage, and share this video.